Rock the Ripple. Rock the Ripple. The Rock the Ripple podcast with Narita McInnes.
Let's do this. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rock the Ripple podcast. I'm your host, Narita McInnes. It is so awesome to be here with you today, as always. And today is another very exciting day because we're doing something a little different, but something very cool, especially if you're someone who has something on your heart that you want to share. Today, I am joined by someone who have had over 20 years experience in the online space. She is a brilliant graphic designer and website creator. She is the founder of Sweet Little Designs. She's also an OG of the Frequency Shift Mastermind. She is the one and only awesome human that is Sallyann Ralph. Sallyann, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Missy. I'm so pleased to be here. Thanks for having me on today.
Oh, it's so cool to have you on today because I think part of the reason I wanted to get you on today is because I know that people who tune into the Rock the Ripple podcast, not only do they have really big hearts, a lot of them are in business, they're working for themselves, or they have something that they want to share with the world, their art, their gifts, and all that sort of stuff. And sometimes it's their the technology or the design, building websites. It could just be beyond, and it can kind of hold people back from doing all that sort
100%.
of stuff. Yeah. And I know that that's something you're an absolute gun at. So before we sort of dive into everything that you do, can you give a bit more of a background as to who is Sallyann?
Oh man, that's a tough question because there's so many different types of Sallyanns. But as you said, I've been in the online world since my child was born, and prior to that, I was a digital marketing manager for a local construction company. But I have had many online businesses. I have worked for rock star clients who are now earning 7 and 8 figures, and I still continue to work with them to this day. I've helped people develop sales funnels and websites and connect all the tech together. So I am one of those behind the scenes people. Not many people know about me. I've been told I am their best kept secret. So it's been a ride. It's been a great ride.
Yes. And you definitely are a bit of a best kept secret, but not anymore, I think, because how you help people is amazing. And what is so phenomenal about you is, like, I know I've had conversations with you. I'm like, do you know how to do this? Do you know how to, oh yeah, I've done that. And it's just, I think as well, when you work for yourself, there's so many moving parts, isn't there? And there's so much technical stuff to learn. And you and I are talking off air just about how much we have to sometimes just like YouTube shit just so we can learn one thing, and one thing might take 4 hours and there's your day.
Yeah, totally. 100%. And that's the thing. That's a great thing about, this day and age. We can just YouTube something if we, don't quite know how to do it. My niece has been asking me about how does she get into the online world. So she only asked me yesterday, actually, and I've been giving her some tips. Let's start out with the free resources. Well, first of all, what do you want to do? Who do you want to become? But she just wants to get that step into the online world. So I've been giving her some tips. Does she want to become a VA, a social media manager? She could even do video editing, So these are all jobs that, the online world needs. And I've been talking to her about, does she want to be a specialist or a generalist? She'll earn more money if she's a specialist. So, perhaps she should become a video editor or, a social media manager. So, there's just so many opportunities for kids these days, and also, us as adults. And it doesn't matter what your age is, but she's going to have a bright future, and I'm going to help her get there, hopefully. So
yeah, I bet you will. I bet you will.
I'm already talking about building her a website, and we'll change your social media, and we'll get your website happening, and we'll just be a simple one pager. But I think the perfectionism in me, it won't be a simple one pager. It'll be a full-blown website for her. So
Oh, that is so cool. How cool to have an auntie like that. I mean, bloody hell.
I mean, my daughter's going to be the same, but
Yes.
Bless them.
Yes, yeah. And they pick stuff up so well. I mean, I guess for you and I, we lived at a time before we had the internet and social media, and now we're in it. And obviously we're still 25 years old. But
100%.
100%. But yeah, so we know the difference as well. So I think that's something that's really special as well. So we've been able to grow with it. And then you got the kids coming in that just know how to just they just
doing
know
it.
things so easily as well.
Yeah.
It's so natural for them. It's second nature,
Yeah.
which is good because, and sometimes, we want to have that balance so they get out in nature as well, of course.
Yes, 100%.
And I guess because we've had that background of knowing that that is just important as well. I think that's the special thing about it. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much that you do. And I mean, not only do you do like the technical stuff, you're a bloody brilliant graphic designer, or designer full stop, I should
Thanks,
say.
miss.
I mean, the amount of stuff that you do, like what have you created over this time?
Ah, golly, yeah. Yes, I have done sales funnels for, 7 and 8 figure businesses, application funnels, webinar funnels, website work, magazine work. I've
Mhm.
created a whole bunch of magazines for people. I mean, from the design perspective, I know how to apply it in its commercial application, and so it gets eyeballs on it. I mean, obviously that's a marketing discussion as well. How do you get eyeballs on your work? I've also done Facebook ads and Google ads and, a bit of digital marketing as well. But yeah, I think I have a lot of knowledge in a lot of different areas, but I'm now starting to focus in really onto websites and sales funnels. Like they literally go hand in hand. So that's where I've decided my skill set lies at the moment.
So what does that look like with what you're doing then? Like if someone was to go, you know what, I really need a website, or they want to work with you, like how does that look?
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple of different ways. You can buy my day and we can work together if you've got a punch list of things. So you've got an existing website and you don't have the time to do it yourself, or you're stuck with something. You can buy my day and then I can come in, jump into the back end of your website and get it all done for you. If you want a whole new website, there's 2 different ways depending on how big your website is and how many pages you need. So I have a Unleashed package, which is a 2-day website build, which can be done. It's quite straightforward and simple. And I use an amazing platform called Show It. I highly recommend you jump on Show It if you're not using it already. So we get a website built in 2 days for you. That's a 5-page website. And I also have a website in a week called Elevate. And that's if you've got sales pages and a shop and you need a shopping cart integrated, and I help you set up all your funnels and all that type of thing. But we start on a Monday and I hand it over to you on a Friday. So it's a very streamlined process. I guide you every step of the way, essentially. So you don't feel like you are left out in the cold or you've got no idea what you're doing. I am there supporting you. It's just you and me for the whole week, for example, or for the whole 2 days. There's no one else. I block my whole schedule out just for you. So they're my main 3 offers right now.
Wow, that is awesome. That is so
Yeah.
cool. And I guess if people aren't quite at that point yet, they can still jump on your mailing list so they can keep up to
Absolutely.
date with all the things that you share and things like that.
Absolutely. And there is one other program that I'm developing right now called Web Bestie, where if you're not quite ready to, like if you're pretty handy yourself, but you're just stuck on a few bits and pieces, it's a 30-day program where we work together. It's a very low cost program, and I'm there for you for 30 days. If you've got questions, if you need me to jump in the back end, it's pretty much like having a marketing and designer in your back pocket for 30 days. So that's just something else that I'm, developing right now. And I've had a lot of people mention that they just like to have me around for a bit. So that's why I've developed that one.
Yeah, I really like that, because I think people are at different levels and different stages of their business and ideas
Totally.
and things like that. And having a web bestie is someone that you can go, because like for me as well, I'm someone who likes to learn things, but I get stuck. So to be able to go, oh, hey, Sallyann, do you know how to do this? Then that helps them. And then they're still able to know how their website runs. And it's a
Absolutely.
lower cost thing as well, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also too, in the 30 days, I can either record you Loom videos or, I've got my God, my brain's not working. I have a library of videos that you can refer back to, but essentially, I jump into your site, I fix it for you, I make it look pretty, I integrate everything for you. So if you get stuck, it saves you spending the 4 hours on YouTube looking for whatever it is you need to do. You drop me a quick email, I'm there, I'll pick it up for you. No dramas, you can move on to whatever you need to do.
Wow.
So it really is a time saver for a lot of people.
Yeah, I so wish I had that when building websites. I remember one day there was this, and this was actually video editing, and for some reason, there was something in the video editor, and I was trying to fix it, and it disappeared. Like normally it would be there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in for like 8 hours on YouTube here trying to work out what the frick is going on.
Yeah.
And I came across this video. Thank God. I remember writing a comment to this person going, thank you, thank you, thank you. But it's just hours. Whereas if someone already knows, you just go, oh, you just press that button. And that's literally what it was. Press that button.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And in the back end to show it to, it's quite user friendly. Like it's, if you're in the design industry, it's like using Illustrator or, Photoshop. It's got all the palettes, but it's literally a blank artboard and you can put anything anywhere and then you just connect everything up. It's very user friendly. So I do recommend, jumping on to show it if you're looking for a very user friendly website platform to use.
Yeah. So if someone hasn't used Show It before, but maybe has a bit of nous about them, and they might be used to using drag and drop sort of in Canva type thing. Would that sort of be a bit similar kind of?
Absolutely. 100%.
Cool.
Pretty much the exact same, but you have more options in your palette to do, for example, you can link to a website, you can link, a hyperlink to a URL, an email address, a website. So you can do that in Canva as well. But, if you want to put an underline under something, it's as simple as drawing a line. Whereas I know in Squarespace, it's not that simple. You need code. So Show It is literally a no code. You don't need to know how to code. It is a true plug and play, drop and drag platform, which is what I love so much about it, because you don't need to be an expert. You just need to learn how to use the program. And once you've got that down pat, you're starting to fly, you're starting to soar.
Yeah, that is awesome. And the thing I remember someone saying years ago is that like our website is our shop front to the world.
Absolutely.
And I think as well, like we can use social media, and social media is great. The only thing is, the difference is that when we have a website, we own our website. That's ours.
Correct.
We can put what we want on there. On social media, things change, algorithms change, rules change, posts can be taken down and things like that. Whereas on a website, we get to share how we want to share. And I think that's really important, especially for people who love to tune into this podcast. They've got so much on their heart that they want to share, and you don't want to have all your hard work then just disappear. So to have a website.
That actually happened to one of my clients. She has over 100,000 people on her mailing list. She had a Facebook group of 30 or 40,000 people, and overnight they just took her Facebook group down. She tried to appeal the decision, and the first time they said that's fine. We realized it was a mistake. They put it back up, but then it happened to her 3 months later, and they said no, the decision's final. So she had to start a brand new Facebook group from scratch, and thank God she still had her 100,000 mailing list, so 100,000 of people on her mailing list. So she then just emailed her mailing list to say, hey, this has happened. It's now time. We've had to start a new Facebook group. We'd love you to join us in the new Facebook group. And the new Facebook group grew quite quickly because of her emailing list. So it is so important to, own your own assets, such as a website. You own that platform, and your mailing list it's all yours versus, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They can shut you down at any given time.
Yeah, and you're right. Mailing list as well. And what would you say to people who are just starting out? Because I know like everyone is in different places and they've got different things. Like, what would you say to them? Like, where would you start? I know it's a big question because it depends on what they're doing and all that sort of stuff. But what do you think that they, should start looking at to begin with?
So in relation to growing an email list,
maybe they've just because I think there's a lot of people out there who they're in business, or they're just starting out, or they've got an idea in their heart and they're not they know they want to do it. They don't know what it looks like yet. I think you and I both know that it's all about taking that first step. It's not about going, I need all these things.
Yeah.
I just need to start with one thing. And maybe like if it's somewhat like, maybe you might want to work on a website. Maybe you want to just start by getting clear on what it is that your offering is.
Yes. And what your goals and objectives are too. If you just want to be seen, then you can start on social. And then after you've done some marketing, obviously you need to feed them into somewhere. So then you want to feed them into your website. And this then becomes your sales funnel becomes your sales funnel. But feed them into your website so that people can learn more about you, because unfortunately on social media, you've only got such a short amount of space for your bio, whereas on your website, you can then really dive into who you are, how you can help them, what it is that you do, why you're the best choice for them to work with you. You can just have so much more on your website, and you can offer, free opt-ins or freebies that people will then give their name and number to you so that they can get on your email list, and you then give them this freebie. But I mean, if you're just starting out, you're not too sure where you want to be. For example, let's say you want to become a web designer. I would recommend that you research how to become a web designer. Like, start just using free resources. Free resources will, make sure that that's where you want to be. And then, once you've decided you want to become a web designer, invest in education, invest in getting you to that next step. And then from there, obviously, once you've got that education happening, you can build out your website. You can start offering your services on Facebook. You can start building websites for friends. Just get some websites under your belt, whether you do, a discounted rate, or you do a contra deal with a friend, or whatever that may look like for you. But you've just got to one step in front of the next, and your path will then lead you to where you need to be.
It's so true, isn't it? It's so true. It's funny. I had a really good chat with Sophia Palmer last week, who's an astrologist, and many other things, and talking about 2024 being the year to just not sit on your hands and to do the things that are in your heart. And I can really feel that. And it's sort of like done is better than perfect. And all we need to do, because we came here to be who we came here to be. We came here to be the versions of ourselves. And none of us, I heard this somewhere the other day, we're equally different. We're equally different. We all bring something to the table. And so if we're not sharing our gifts, we're sort of doing a disservice to those people who could really benefit from it. And also it's in our heart. So we're doing a disservice to ourselves too. So it's just about just starting. And you know what? You might fall on your face, and you might say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, but it doesn't matter. All of us do that. That's how we learn. We don't sort of, when we're little, to learn how to walk straight away, we fall down, but we keep going.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, my journey, when I started many, many years ago, I had a baby announcement card business. That was a physical product. I did that for 3 years, and then I did digital products on Etsy. I did Etsy for, a couple of years, and then I started getting into the online space, and I started connecting with, like-minded business owners in America. And a lot of my clients are American clients. So, and I connected with these people through Facebook. I didn't even have a website when I was booking clients. Website didn't exist. And I've only recently, now that I'm into the website space, I've been building websites for other people. I've now had to do my own website because all of my work has been referral based. I haven't needed to go out and market myself. So, and that's been my journey. I've been doing that now since 2012. I've been in the online space for a long time, since 2009, but literally in connecting with people overseas and in the UK and Australia. That's been since 2012. And both male and females. I haven't, honed in on either sex. So it's been a wild ride, and I've loved every minute of it. But it's now time for me to give back to those that need my help, because I've always been behind the scenes on massive launches. I've always been behind the scenes helping my clients get all their ducks in a row, and they're doing stuff that's just so mind-blowing, and it's out of this world. So, but I've just flipped the switch essentially. So I'm doing different things these days.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love that you shared about your journey, because that's the thing. You just start and you don't know how it's going to look. And the fact that your work has been referral based for 20 years, that does go to show how freaking good you are at what you do, woman. And also just because that is no mean feat to work for yourself for that amount of time. And now being able to incorporate everything that you have learned and mustered up in that time to now be able to help people easily and at different price points as well. I just think it's phenomenal.
Absolutely. And speaking of different price points, one of my big projects in the next month is to create templates for people, so it is even more affordable. So I'm going to be creating a whole heap of templates website templates for authors and creatives and photographers and arty people, because I'm quite arty myself.
Yeah.
And just so they can buy them at an affordable rate, and they can plug it into their own website, make their own changes. As I said, they've got a library of how-to videos that I've created, and then they can just watch those videos and they can follow along with me like I'm in their back pocket. And, you know, if they've got any questions, I'm always just an email away. But, you know, that's another entry point too, you know, so they don't then have to work one-on-one with me. They've got me in their back pocket, but that's a whole series of videos and templates that they just plug and play. So that's my project for this next month.
That is so cool. I love that. And because that's the thing, again, like we said before, like having the different price points, and for people who do like to do it themselves and or are just coming into the space, like I think it is actually a really good thing to actually do. Like if you're brand new and you're learning things, it's good to know how things work. So if you do work with other people, you know what you're getting. Like, you know, when you get to a point where you're like, actually, I might want to outsource this and get someone else to do it. You know yourself how long something takes. You know yourself what's involved. So you can have a very balanced conversation with those people that are helping you.
Correct. 100%. And that's what generally does happen. People buy a template. They've got great intentions of doing it themselves. Then they go, oh, crap, this is taking me a lot longer than what I thought it would be. So that's why I have my done in a day, my VIP day. You can buy my day and I can do it for you. Or if you just want me to do it to start off with, it's 2 days or a week, depending on how many pages. But, you know, there are also a lot of people that buy a template and they can do it themselves. They've got the skill set to do it themselves. And that's amazing. They're saving themselves a lot of money if they've got the time. So it's that time versus money trade-off.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing too.
Absolutely.
Our biggest currency really at the moment is time. Like it's flying, it's on steroids. And if you've got the time to do it, awesome. That's beautiful. You can do it. And then if you don't, well, then that's when you get the help as well.
Absolutely. Yep. 100% spot on.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm loving what this year looks like. And I said at the start as well, you have been an OG. For anyone who doesn't know OG, it's original gangster, also known as maybe a founding member. Whoa. Look at us trying to be cool. You know, I'll speak for myself. You're cool. I don't know. But so you've been a part of the Mastermind since its inception, basically. And I mean, for myself, I feel really blessed because I get to work with people like you and so many other like-minded, awesome humans who have big goals and dreams in their heart, and they might want to get clarity. They might want accountability. They love connecting with different people who are, you know, on the same page and get what's going on in the world and all that sort of stuff. Like, I mean, I just feel so lucky and blessed. How have you found it as well, Sallyann?
I mean, the girls are freaking awesome. All of the girls that are in the Mastermind, we all love each other so much, and we're there to support each other and give advice as well. But I think the biggest thing for me is just that clarity. I'm so super clear now of my purpose. Whereas before I started working with you, I had all these amazing ideas. Sorry. And for me, it was, well, which one do I do?
Yeah.
And you helped me get everything in alignment so that I can just put one foot in front of the other. And that's what you and I have been working on this past year. And it's just been phenomenal. Thank you so much, Missy. You're amazing.
Oh, it's just that pleasure. I just love it. I just love it. But how cool, because I know for myself, and I know you can relate to, and I'm sure people listening can relate to this, is when you've got all these ideas or you've got no idea at all. It's so freaking frustrating, isn't it? And you just feel so stuck. You just keep banging your head against the wall and you're just like, I know I'm here to do something. What is it? What, you know, and you get stuck. But when you finally break through and get that clarity, it just means it has that, now I can just take one step at a time and do this.
100%. And for me, it was the overwhelm, because I had a very long list of things that I wanted to achieve in this past year and also this year as well. But, you know, now I'm very regimented with what needs to happen today, what needs to happen tomorrow, what needs to happen next week, then what's happening next month, you know, how much time I have available for client work, how much time I have available for my work. Like prior to working with you, I was literally reacting to client requests. It was there was no organization in my life whatsoever. And, you know, our little black book our
Frequency
journal.
shift journal.
Yes, a little black book. I've got quite a few of them now, but just keeping that on my desk, and it helps me just to stay laser focused, super clear, doing our non-negotiables every day, that type of thing. So it's been a massive help.
That's awesome. That's so good.
I love it.
Yeah, no, me too. No, that's awesome. I so love chatting to you. Is there anything on your heart that you want to share today, Sallyann? I'll just put you on the spot there.
Yeah, thanks, Missy. I don't know. I suppose for me, it's just, you've just got to, if there's something that's nagging at you to follow your dreams, you've just got to go and do it. I walked out of a very lucrative career, paying six figures way back when in 2009. I left a permanent job to take on a risk, and I have never looked back. So you just really need to follow your heart. I know sometimes you get caught in the I've got bills to pay cycle. So, you just need to compartmentalize, okay, I'm going to work today, do my job, get home, find time to work on that business idea, find time to follow your heart, whatever that is, whether it's getting healthy, doing a cleanse, detox, whatever. You just got to really make the time for that. Otherwise, you'll wake up and you're 46 and you've not achieved what you wanted to achieve. So yeah, follow your heart. You only live once. Life's not a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because it's so true. And I can relate, because I did the same thing too. I left my full-time job to take a risk. I didn't have a client. I didn't have a website. I didn't have anything. I just knew, my soul was like, mate, you got to do this. You have to do this. And I've told this story before, but for me, it was like, I needed to be thrown into the middle of a freezing cold lake and just swim to shore, like that kind of
survival mode.
Break. Yeah. And just to do it. And I'm so glad I did it as well. And has it been easy the whole way through? Hell no. It's been a ride. I think working for yourself is one of the biggest personal development journeys you could ever go on.
Absolutely.
You got to face everything. And not only that, you wear the hats of everything. You're the IT person, you're the accountant, you're the designer, you're the troubleshooter. There's so much to it, but it does, it humbles you, and you do, you learn so much about yourself and who you are.
You totally do. Yeah, 100%. There's not a day goes by, or even a moment, that when I'm driving around or in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about business. And it's just, I love it. I can't not switch off. And I know there are days where I just sit down and I chill and watch Netflix, but the fact that I'm just so driven, and I'm listening to podcasts, and my brain is always ticking over as I'm listening to podcasts and people talk. I think, well, how can I apply that in my life? What do I need to do different? So, it's been a total wild ride. It's a massive personal development, uplift. But I wouldn't change it for the world. It's been the best decision I ever made, was to say no to working full time and take the risk and follow the path.
Yeah, I agree. And it's doing things on your own terms, and sometimes you got to work harder to do that sometimes.
Absolutely.
But it all works out in the wash. And for someone like me as well, I think what's been beautiful about it is, as people would know who tune into the podcast already, I dive down lots of rabbit holes, and I love exploring everything that's out there. And I mean, if I could freeze time to look at everything, I totally would. But I think, there's that balance. We take in the information, whatever it may be, what we're interested in at the time, whatever it is. But then we also have to take the action. We've got to do the work. And I heard someone say this a little while back, with the law of attraction, the word attraction has the word action in it.
Yeah.
So you can be clear on what you want, but you can't just sit there and do nothing. You've also got to get shit happening, don't you?
Absolutely. That's one of the things for me too. One of my biggest things this year is time freedom, and which is why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I can't have time freedom happen without me taking the action to make it happen. So, and for me, that time freedom means I can pick my daughter up from school, I can drop her off to school, I can attend any of her extracurricular activities, I can attend all of her basketball games, I'm there for her 100% of the time, 7 days a week. And she's even noticed with her father, because he works full time. We are a split family. That she's at his house at the moment. She's got nothing to do because he's at work. Whereas with me, she's got a full social roster because I can come and go whenever I please. And that's one of the best things about, working for yourself and taking action. So you have that time freedom that, you build your life on your terms, essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about the whole working for yourself, I think.
Yeah, totally. And I think so many people are and have, like, especially over these last few years, reassessing their life. What is it that they really want to be doing? What really matters? Like, I don't want to be stuck in a cubicle working for the man, like, 60 hours a week. I want to be able to enjoy life. I want to be able to go for a walk in the afternoon if I want to get some fresh air. I want to be able to tend to my garden or create art or whatever it might be. And I think that time freedom is just, and the freedom to be able to do that full stop is just, it's just so important and so needed. And I feel like people's souls have been craving that for a while. And now we're seeing more and more people do that, which is awesome.
Oh, 100%. I remember before 2020 happened, I was always at all of my daughter's events, and I swear people thought I didn't work. But it was because of, I seriously, when she was in primary school, because I was always there, always at school, always reading to the kids, always doing, whatever they needed me to do. And I swear that some of the other parents thought I didn't have a job, and I was one of these, I had a rich husband, but unbeknownst to them, when I wasn't at school, I was working my little ass off. So, you just got to make it happen.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Oh, Sallyann, I could chat to you about all this sort of stuff all day long.
Me too, Missy.
Is there anything else that you want to share before we sort of let people know where they can find you and get on your mailing list and all that fun stuff?
So, if you are craving that next big thing and you don't know what that next big thing is, I highly recommend that you join Narita's Mastermind. I'm sure she'll drop the links below. Got to give you a plug, Missy, because you're fucking amazing.
Okay, we didn't plan that, by the way, just in case.
Well, it's true though. You help people get in alignment. You help people extract what it is that they need, or that they want to do, and then you help them put that plan in place so that they can achieve those goals every quarter. And the fact that you break it down into quarters is just amazing. It just helps you not get too far ahead of yourself, and it helps you live in the now. And I think, too many people are focusing too far ahead versus what the next step is to get to the next level of success for them. So I highly recommend you jump in the mastermind and join Narita and myself in there.
Oh, thank you, Sallyann. I love that.
I've always got
beautiful plug. I'll definitely link that below. No, it's a lot of fun, and I really love that. And yeah, breaking it down into quarters and bite-sized pieces so we can, you're right, live in the now and actually get stuff done. And it's amazing what we can get done in a quarter, not overwhelm ourselves. Hey,
tell me about it. Overwhelm was the biggest thing for me. I was just didn't know whether I was Arthur or Martha. And yeah, I was just so
neither
all over
of them. You're Sallyann.
I know.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Sallyann, how can people find you? How can they get on your mailing list? How can they connect with you and find out more?
Absolutely. So if they go to littlesweetdesigns.com.au, if they scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a newsletter opt-in, or I've got a range of different freebies that they can pick up. And there's also a waitlist page. So if they want to go to littlesweetdesigns.com.au/waitlist, that will be for my templates as well. So if they want to put their name on that waitlist for when my templates are released, they're more than welcome to do that.
That'd be cool. I reckon a lot of people like those templates too. So that'll be awesome when they're ready. I'm very excited about that too.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Well, Sallyann, I just want to say thank you so bloody much for coming on the show today. It's awesome to be able to share what you do. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who have these big things in their heart and they may not know where to start. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and your insights on all of that. And I want to say as well, thank you to you at home who've tuned in today. I hope you got a lot out of today's episode. It's definitely been awesome chatting with the one and only Sallyann. As always, if you like this episode, give it a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Always love hearing from you and so appreciate you being here always, as you know. But aside from that, Sallyann, thanks again for being on the show.
Thanks, Missy. Love your work, Rich Star.
Thanks, mate.